We turn now to Texas, where controversial Christian television CEO Marcus Lamb has died after his battle with COVID-19. The conservative televangelist making headlines this past year after his network, Daystar, dedicated hours of broadcasts to anti-lockdown and anti-vaccination activists and groups. NBC News correspondent Maura Barrett has the story.
They don't even know what is in the shot.
Marcus Lamb, a broadcaster reaching hundreds of millions of people around the world and who vocally opposed the COVID-19 vaccine, died after battling the virus. He often spread misinformation on his network, which is one of the most popular channels with evangelical Christians in the country.
They're giving shots to people that are already compromised with their immune system.
And I wasn't going to cry, but
his wife announcing the news of his passing on Tuesday.
This morning at 4 a.m., the president and founder of Daystar and the love of my life went to be with Jesus.
Yeah.
His son calling it the work of the devil.
You know, there's no doubt in my mind that this is a spiritual attack from the enemy.
Lamb, who was 64, co-founded the Daystar television network. Their shows often capitalizing on conservative opinion.
They are Marxist atheists. They couldn't care less about black lives, if you want to know the truth.
Mixing religion and politics. And throughout the pandemic,
is there a hidden agenda?
They've dedicated hours of programming to COVID misinformation.
Ivermectin is both a preventative for COVID and a cure.
And anti-vaccine rhetoric.
Of the so-called vaccine to help deal with the plague. It's become its own plague.
The network even dedicated a section of its website appearing to invoke fear around vaccines for children. The page reading, "What if the most dangerous thing your child could face in life is the very thing you're told by your doctor is safe?" Our medical expert calling this tactic irresponsible.
It just sets up a dynamic where even if somebody listening to this information processes it and is logical about it, they might walk away feeling guilty about doing something that has incredible evidence and incredible public health support, and in fact is globally what we need to do to get out of the pandemic.
How detrimental do you think messaging like this is?
Well, it's more viral than I think the Omicron variant is. That leads to consequences such as people getting infected, going to the hospital, or even unintentionally spreading the virus.
Lamb joins a string of conservative broadcasters who criticized the COVID vaccines and then died in the last few months after contracting COVID. Two of them, Tennessee Radio's Phil Valentine and Newsmax's Dick Farrell, had a change of heart when they were hospitalized, urging their followers to get the vaccine before they died. But the Lambs appear to be holding firm on their beliefs, broadcasting to millions.
He 100% believed in everything that we've talked about here on Daystar, and we still stand by that, obviously.
All right, Maura joins us now from Chicago. So, Maura, I know you spoke with Dr. Patel a lot about this. Daystar has such a wide reach. What type of impact does that misinformation have on such a big audience?
Well, Dr. Patel tells me that that lack of accountability that you heard there at the end is actually more irresponsible than the misinformation itself. She thinks that ideological concerns or political stances really shouldn't matter in the grand scheme of things when it comes to public health. But when you see statements like this spread so widely on Daystar, it can have this huge ripple effect, right? And she says that that can make the genie really hard to get back in the bottle, especially after someone dies. Now, as for the Lamb family, their spokesperson tells me that they see vaccination as a point of privacy and personal choice. Tom?
All right, Maura, we thank you for that.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.